episode. It's episode something. It's so I updated iMovie last week, and not that this is interesting at all, but I went from like I used to upload videos in 720p to somehow it now allows me to upload in 1080p 60 fps. But I'm not even filming in 1080p or 60 fps. But because I'm a fucking moron, I was like, I'm gonna start doing that now. But now the files are so fucking big. I've been uploading an episode since 4 p.m. yesterday. It's still uploading.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna do that in the future. But yeah.
What kind of computer are you using?
MacBook Pro. Got it in August 2019.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean it's a dope computer. But I don't think I need, or I just need better internet, dude. I got this thing called the Jetpack, sold by Verizon, sponsored by Verizon. Go to your nearest Verizon store, use the code word bitch tits. But it's this little thing, and I get like 15 gigs of cell service on it. And I've been using it for like when I have on guests that I just can't have shitty internet for, right?
Yeah.
Like the authors or important people or anyone other than like my dumbass friends that we're just going to talk about UFOs most likely this episode. But
right. I keep looking over at my smoker and I'm like, it's getting to the part where do you know anything about smoking meat?
I do not. I know Mark Zuckerberg smokes meats. You ever seen that video?
Who?
You ever seen that video?
No.
Mark Zuckerberg. It's like the best argument that he is indeed an alien and or an android, where he's just like a YouTube video. It's like, I'm smoking these meats in my backyard. It's real. It's not a deep fake. He's like smoking the meats, just smoking them. But he says smoking the meats like 40 times in like 5 minutes, and he's like, I love it.
That.
He's like, I love the protein because I eat it, and it's like, what human would say that?
Right. Yeah. It's the first time I'm ever doing it, but I'm smoking meatloaf.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Like, Mom, bring me the meatloaf.
Mom, meatloaf. Fuck.
No.
Idiot. Good.
Yeah.
More for you and me. Good.
Right.
Oh, I'm dead.
So what's up, man? How you been?
I've been doing fantastic, but fuck all that small talk. The NGAD, the fucking next generation air dominance fighter that flew last week. What the fuck is that? How did that happen? What did it?
It's got to be just like a technology demonstrator, right?
They said it was a fully functional craft.
So I guess so. Like the YF-22 and the YF-23, were those considered? Yeah, I guess proof of concept. No, those weren't proof of concept. Those were demonstrators.
Those are at the same time as the F-22. So those were like 99, 2000.
Right. But I'm saying the NGAD or whatever it's called.
I think it's a proof of concept.
That's got to be like. Do you think it's just a proof of concept, like the HAB Blue, or do you think it's like an actual demonstrator, like the rolled out F-117?
I don't know. I remember reading that there was something that was profound about it, so I would imagine it was probably like a demonstrator, not just a proof of concept, because it made a big splash, and apparently it's redefining like acquisition in the defense contracting industry. And I saw the sexiest conspiracy theory, and it was like,
tell me.
I know, right? It was like get ready for your big red, white, and blue boner. It's like F-35. It was all front. We purposely made a shitty program, and we left the back doors open, knowing full well the Chinese were going to put all their time looking into that and building a shitty plane. Meanwhile, we were diverting 75% of the funds to developing a 6th generation fighter.
Oh, I fucking hope so.
That just was like, oh, red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Just, oh.
What if it's always like that though, right? So like when we were, I don't know, when we were kind of funding the U2, or when we rolled out the U2 and started talking about it, we started using that funding then for.
I would imagine it's probably always part of the game plan,
and it's kind of always a step or two ahead, hopefully 2 steps.
Yeah,
but
I would imagine that's probably the game plan. But I'd really like to think that the F-35 was like purposely, like the doors were left unlocked, if you will. The windows weren't shut entirely. And it was like, I hope you don't come in here and steal these plans. Like, no encryption.
Yeah. Some kind of backdoor gotcha. Like,
yeah. And then just let him build that piece of shit.
A honey dick?
Yeah, really. Honey dick them. And just let him build that piece of shit.
Right.
But not even tell anyone in the government that that's what we're doing. only the highest up. So there's real outrage. There's people that are actually like, why are we spending $1 trillion? It just sells it all the more.
Yeah. So I sent you that video that day when I was in Burlington, Vermont, there of them flying. So I was over in Fort Drum a couple of weeks ago, which is kind of up in the northern country of New York, kind of Adirondack region.
Okay.
And it's like the 10th Mountain Division up there. So the other day I'm over at a vet clinic there, and dude, there's 5 or 6 F-35s, man, just show of force come flying down and turns into its own air show. They were dropping bombs and shit for, the Army boys over there.
Really?
Yeah, and it was the same unit from over in Vermont.
Hey, bring your microphone a little closer, because when you just leaned in just now, your audio got like 100 times better. Not that it wasn't good already. It just got really crisp.
Yeah, how's that?
It's good. I need to get a dope microphone. But I mean, I feel like this one's good. Am I just fucking? Is there a deeper problem? Am I just using retail therapy to?
I think yours is pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's
like mine's pretty cheap. It was like $35.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
Yeah, no, I didn't get anything fancy, dude. I'm not investing a whole lot of money in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get a ball in a microphone.
So I sent that article to you, and I also sent it to Paul. And Paul seems to think that there might be some sort of invisibility kind of cloaking device
with the NGAD.
Yeah.
We'll just call it sixth generation.
Right.
Well, yeah. Did you see that thing last week where Trump was talking about invisibility, like talking about the F-35? He's like, these planes are invisible. You can't see them. Everyone's like, this fucking moron. Yeah. Well, maybe he's talking about an actual optical cloaking device, some weird metamaterial, light bending material.
Yeah, or I mean, it was just a metaphor. Well, I don't know exactly what he said. Or it's just a metaphor that they're fucking stealth aircraft.
Yeah. Or it's just Trump just fucking word vomiting. It's invisible. It's made of chocolate. It doesn't weigh anything. It goes backwards in time. It's not even a plane. Right. I'm not the president.
So I just got done listening to Rage, Bob Woodward's book there, and I've never read a political book before.
Any good?
But is it any good? No, not really. I mean, it's kind of like, everything that people say about Trump generally, like, you get that when you hear him talk. Like, it's you could tell he's kind of indecisive. He's a narcissist.
Yeah.
Like, he just.
I don't need a groundbreaking book, a show all. Just watch him for 5 minutes. You're like, yeah, he's a thrice married, gambling, billionaire, liar, con man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly, and then, there's some good well, he said a couple times in the book when the guy was interviewing him, he was like, yeah, but I've done a lot of good, I've done good things. It's like, well, yeah, you've done some good things, but, you're so you're still you, yes.
You're still, I think it was Tim Dillon that was like, I mean, this guy is like a biblical antichrist, thrice married, made his billions off gambling and building gaudy, materialistic, hedonist structures of this world, not of the heavenly world, and he owns the beauty pageant. Like, he's like, this guy is a biblical satanic figure. Like, yeah, he will come like draped in gold, right?
Right. Anyway, getting back to the sixth generation fighter for a second. So I think there's going to be some sort of AI incorporated into it.
Absolutely.
Like, it's going to be autonomous.
1,000%.
I don't think it's going to be manned.
No, I don't think so either.
Or maybe it'll be like the B-21 that has the option where it can be manned or not.
Do you think that's how we kind of get into the foreplay of getting an autonomous army? We're like, look, let's do a generation where we just throw some seats in there, just to kind of give everyone the idea that, like, hey, we're not building a completely turnkey dictatorship where no one needs to follow orders because it's just software. I think you put some seats in them. B-21, the sixth generation.
The pilots aren't necessarily pilots anymore. Then they become more like almost like video game players inside. They kind of in the screens and targeting and stuff.
But I think at a point, right? I feel like we're getting to a point with metamaterials and science and engine power that humans are now the limiting reactant. I mean, if this thing can pull fucking 25 Gs, right? And I'm just pulling a number out of my ass. But
right.
I mean,
yeah.
But if you could do that, if you could come to a stop with fucking reverse thrusters and a parachute and just, go from a hypersonic to subsonic in like a mile and then take down your guys, why would you want to limit that with a meat body inside that's just going to be killed from the G-forces? Just fucking...
Yeah. So I don't know about the invisibility thing, like actual cloaking. But it's gotta have some sort of freaking laser beam on its
freaking
forehead,
laser
right?
beam attack. Like, sharks with freaking laser beams. Yeah, it's Well, I mean,
or something, some kind of direct energy weapon, or maybe an ability to tap into a satellite and direct energy weapons from outer space. You know what I mean?
Almost like if the satellite was like a fire hydrant, almost, and it's like you can just go to the location and then tap into the nearest one. Or do you mean like being like a? I was
just thinking kind of like almost like a not neural link. I'm not saying it's militarized, but like something like that. I'm almost wondering if like the X-37B was releasing like smaller satellites that are direct energy weapons or something. So the next generation of fighter or bomber, can do its job or whatever. But it's also like a platform for other things as well. Maybe it can release kind of mini UAVs or something, or it can tap into those satellites and direct attacks from those or something, or use them for some other purpose, maybe not necessarily attacking.
I hope that
I just see it being more of a platform really than an actual like strike aircraft.
Well, it kind of seems like that's where it's all going, right? I mean, even now, so MacBook, like most powerful like computing source I own. iPhone 8, like good. iPad Pro 2018, good. But even then, you kind of have like it's like the Mac ecosystem, right? I can pull up texts on all of them. I can pull up images on all of them. All the same apps on all of them. MacBook, everything's jacked up a little more. But it's almost it stops existing as like this one thing, and it's more so this. I feel like this word's been used too much in the tech world, but it's like a cloud, right? It's kind of this ethereal thing that I can tap into. If I got a brand new computer, it wouldn't be that does everything that these can't, or it would be, but I could still, do you know what I'm saying? You can pull up, I don't know if you have a Mac, but like I pull up like multiple.
I don't, but
okay. Like when I'm doing shit on my phone, it also comes up on my laptop. So when I'm writing a text to you, it'll pop up and I'll see the text. I can like drop my phone and finish it on here. And it kind of, so everything's almost being, it's like a radio station. Like you can have phones, radios in your car, you can have apps, but you're still kind of just syncing in the same source. It's just coming out of it's on different screens, if you will. I'm a moron. I can't describe this. It's really fun, but like, I feel like that's how it's going to be. We're going to have the B-21. We're eventually going to have the 2037. We're going to have the 6th generation. Everybody's sleeping on the SR-72. Don't forget that was acknowledged by Lockheed Skunk Works in November 2013.
Yeah, that was like earlier this last decade, right?
That was 2013, November 2013. So
which means it's already been developed and
it's been flying, and it's
flying and doing its thing.
Yeah. It's these are all these platforms to the metaphorical ecosystem. They're all just targeting pods. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're all. Yeah. It's just a lot of tools for the same thing.
Yeah, that's kind of freaky. It's awesome, I think, but it's also scary as fuck.
Yeah, but we survived the thermonuclear so far. So fuck it. Let's just keep.
Well, yeah.
Let's keep walking down this rabbit hole. Who cares? Fuck it.
Right. Did you see China just, I don't know if it landed or launched, but it was kind of like, it looked like their equivalent of the X-37B.
Yeah, I did. Not very happy about that.
What's that?
I'm not very happy about that.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, oh, fuck.
Here we go.
But we launched ours a long time ago, though, didn't we?
Years and years ago. And you got to remember, it's done subsequent missions that are each longer than the last. And like the first one was like 700 days. The next one was like 900. So even that right there, 1,600 days, that's like 5+ years, right? Let's see when the X-37B launched originally.
I can look right now.
I'm looking, Josh.
X-37B.
April 22nd, 2010.
Launch. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Ooh.
Okay. And that's what was acknowledged publicly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, 2000 maybe? 95? I don't know.
Yeah. So I just hope that we moved on to the next thing. Like, whatever it was, it's like, okay, we got that set up. Now we're on to the next. And there's something better.
I hope Space Force.
Space Force.
I fucking... There's a lot of exciting shit going on with weapon systems right now. Right?
Yeah. I think what's interesting to me that I don't know a lot about it all is subs.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know. I'm not even going to try to talk on that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the extent of the conversation for me, but I just...
Good talk.
Yeah, that's all I know about it. That's funny. Yeah, I find that whole, sub espionage world, like, really freaking cool. Yeah. Shit that they can do is fucking cool.
I mean, the lethality, in a game of strategy, the lethality of that, to have something that you can hide under 70% of the Earth's surface with, 24 SLBMs.
Can bust through the Arctic ice.
Yeah, right. You can't fucking track them. Just
right.
They're gone. It's
checkmate.
Yeah, those are perhaps like the strongest kind of, I would almost say, world peace maintainers. I mean, it is truly
peacemakers.
Yeah, and you could even say peacemakers. Yeah. Then we have Peacemaker missiles and the Peacemaker bomber.
Right.
But 70% of their surface. They're basically invisible. They run on nuclear power with an infinite heat sink.
They're only limited to their crew.
Yeah.
And their needs.
Imagine getting an autonomous one of those.
I was just gonna say, man, what is the next step for those? I can't think of anything. But autonomous.
Get rid of the crew.
Yeah, kind of 3D mapping, scanning, or something.
Nuclear. Because I had a guy on Describe. He's like, "What's so lethal about him?" He's like, "And you got a nuclear reactor." He's like, "And you need a big heat sink, right? You're in the ocean. You have the biggest heat sink there is. It's just there's no. That's the only offset you'd ever have. Aside from food and oxygen, what if you got rid of that though?"
Right. Huh. Wait, so were you saying like the heat can be detected?
Heat sink, meaning that the heat has to go somewhere. So the only threat would ever be if the reactor melted down. And it's not that it would blow up, it's just that the vessel would be destroyed. In terms of like a strategist, your weapon is offline. It will never melt down because it's like, and I'm probably talking way out of my league here, but like you have to have somewhere.
I'll believe you. I don't know any better.
Okay, fuck it. Subs are over 100 miles long, Josh, and they're made out of They're made out of chocolate. I tell you. But like, from what I had described to me about nuclear reactors is like, and you want to have, always have a ton of water around because it has a high specific heat capacity, meaning it can absorb a lot of heat before it over I have like a year in college. I had a waterbed. I had a king size waterbed. It fucking sucked. But like me and my roommate used to use it for when our laptops would overheat. We'd just pull back the blanket and then we just throw our laptop on because it was like 400 gallons of like room temperature water. It would just suck the heat right. You could watch the little thermometer app on your laptop. You'd see it drop. So if your computer would shut down after it overheated. But let's say it didn't. Let's say your computer would just heat up until it died, right? Let's say I'm trying to process 100 podcasts at once. It would destroy itself. That's what the nuclear reactor would be. But you're surrounded by an infinite heat sink. You're never gonna. So that's the only threat. Is even if it was running like shit, it would still run. Now I think about 5% of what I just said is accurate. So whoever's listening,
it sounded good.
For whoever's listening, I apologize. That's not how nuclear reactors work. I'm sorry. Okay, trying my best out here, but an autonomous one of those. That's the end game.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we solved it. That's a mystery of the submarines.
All right,
that's the
all right,
game.
all right. You're welcome, Pentagon. From the Josh and Tom.
Call me. I'm here all night.
Yeah, from the Josh and Tom think tank.
Right. Well, then, so throw that. God, that'd be fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Or awesome.
Or awesome. Yeah.
Unlimited funding.
Yeah.
People who could actually do this shit, and you and I just philosophize.
Well, here's what you need. What you need to do is just take out the Chinese. They're like, wow. We're like, there you go.
Fucking brilliant.
But how do we get reelected? Make everybody billionaires. Get rid of cancer. And they're like, that's why we pay them the big bucks. These guys right here. Go to the moon and the sun.
Right. So I guess really, so that would kind of be the pinnacle, and then the ability to launch
aircraft,
unmanned aircraft, like a Tic Tac.
Yeah. Ooh, the Tic Tac. It's.
Well, fuck that. I want to believe it was aliens. So.
I don't know which one I want to believe more.
Yeah, I think either one's kind of cool.
I mean, aliens is obviously the sexiest, but I mean, what's the?
I mean, I don't know. Submarines launching those is pretty fucking sexy.
I mean, well, not even that, just human created. I mean, they're both are, and Fravors too. Commander Fravors too normal for it to like not be true. Like, there's no part of me that questions it. I'm like, yeah, I believe him.
I was listening to him on Lex.
I listened to that the other day.
Friedman.
That was the first one I've ever listened to of him. Yeah.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah, I think I listened to the whole thing. Like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah. Interesting guy, man. And I like it how they just talked about other stuff too, but you're right, man. He comes across as completely level-headed, and I like the fact that he thinks Bob Lazar is pretty fucking level-headed too, and he's like, nah, he's a freaking smart guy.
And he talked about Tom DeLonge.
And he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was pretty cool.
So I don't know if you remember when Lazar was on with Jeremy Corbell. Jeremy Corbell brought up something called the Wilson Memo, and it's about an admiral who briefed the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on like weapons developments. And for everyone listening, this admiral found out that there was an alleged USAP, Unacknowledged Special Access Program, aka one of which would be the S-4 craft that Lazar worked on, and so he called he saw I think he saw like a circulating or like a document that had someone's name on it. He was like, oh, I actually know that person, like, so this isn't fake. So he called that person and was like, hey, I need to be read in, I'm the top dog for like weapons acquisitions. And they said, you don't have a need to know. And he said, how can that be? I'm the head of weapons acquisitions for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And they said, you do not have a need to know. And they hung up. I just last night re-listened to when Stephen Greer was on Rogan, back episode 300. I know, right? Eyes rolling. This was back in 2012. He brought up, he talked about that exact, he didn't call it the Wilson Memo, but he talked that exact story, an admiral going into the exact same thing, the exact same wording of Jeremy Corbell on Lazar a couple months ago. So, give credit where credit's due, in my opinion, at the exact wording.
We don't know where it leaked from, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if we're going to take what Corbell said is true, and what Lazar said is true, and with Fravor backing both of them, and now I find something that's 7 years prior, on the same podcast, you have Stephen Greer saying it, I got to give credit where credit's due. It's...
Yeah.
That doesn't justify everything he says. That's not a blanket...
No. I was just trying to think if... I don't know if I can get behind the Wilson leaks.
Okay. Well, to me, it's like degrees of like association. It's like we take Fravor, right? Pretty solid. Mm-hmm. I would say 99.9999%. Like, okay, I'm on board with him. Well, if he's talking the same with, I mean, he went on the show with Corbell, and he backed Lazar and DeLonge. Well, at a certain point, you gotta go. Well, if I'm on board with Team Fravor, I have to trust his judgment on these guys, right? Yeah. And it's a little bit, you could say that there's degrees of trustworthiness and percentages.
Yeah, drop. I would say George Knapp is in the mix with that too.
Yeah, but so
I tend to believe George Knapp and his research and his investigations.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if all these guys are touching on the Wilson memo, that's what I have to look at. It's like, well, if I don't trust that, then what do I trust the information? Do I not trust these guys? If I don't trust these guys, do I trust Fravor to give them good judgment? So it's almost like, for me, it's like it's like my own cognitive dissonance. Like, well, what is my stance, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't put this much time into thinking about UFOs, but you can't tell. I have like charts and like, you know, logic branches, and I'm like, well, you know, looking at this sighting, you're a true crazy person.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Point one, Tommy.
Done. So I think, yeah, you know what, man? I'm gonna have to read them again, and I'm gonna have to look into it again. It's been a little while. But one thing. So do you know who John Greenwald is?
I know Glenn Greenwald.
He's the guy who's the Black Vault.
Is that, he wrote. Yeah, I have that audiobook. Yeah.
Okay. So he did a bunch of like FOIA. He's the guy who does like all the FOIA requests and stuff like that. Really smart guy.
I need to get him on this fucking podcast.
What's that?
I need to get him on this fucking podcast.
Dude, you should try, man.
Big dick energy, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, and yeah, smart guy, well researched, and is really fact based. And I forgot what they were, but I think he had a document or two that kind of showed that it might be bullshit.
Okay.
Or no, you know what he said? He said that he thought it was a screenplay.
Okay.
And it was pretty convincing. So, but again, I'm an idiot, so I can be swayed either way.
No, you're not. You're genius.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I was kind of on board with it, and then I listened to him, and he had some evidence. Anyway, he made a video on it. You should check it out at some point.
You know,
if you feel like it.
I don't know if we talked about this. Did you read audiobook UFOs, Generals, and Military Officials by Leslie Kean?
Not yet. That's my... Oh, wait. Yes, I did.
That's my favorite UFO book.
I think that was... God, I want to say that's an old book, right? I read it a long time ago, like 10 years ago or something like that. I feel like maybe...
Yeah. Well, she co-authored that article in the New York Times from a couple months ago. The U.S. has recovered craft not of this world. That's where I recognize the name. She's the co-author. And she politely turned down 2 times now to come on my podcast, but try again.
Third time's a charm. Keep harassing her.
Yeah, if you just show up at her house at 4 a.m, dude, she's gonna respect the A game.
The goddamn tenacity.
Yeah, you know, just call her house and just breathe through the receiver. You know, she'll respect it. She's a journalist. She'll respect the game. You know,
at least she was nice about it, I guess.
Yeah. You know, maybe mail her dead animal parts. Right? It's anything.
Yeah. Women like that. Do it on Valentine's Day, too. Fucking perfect.
Dude, we were listening at work. My buddy Vinny, who was on here the other day, he and I were thinking about, like, because, you know, this is whatever fucking music's playing at the store. But one day the Maroon 5 song came on. What the fuck's the famous song?
Oh, you fucking know. Don't act like you don't.
No, outside in the pouring rain. She will be loved. And so I was listening.
I was looking at that payphone song.
I don't know. I don't know. It's this song's been out forever. I remember hearing it in middle school.
Oh yeah.
And she will be loved. No, that's a good song.
Yep.
And that's a good song. That's a good song. Give credit where credit's due.
You know what I like too is I like Alanis Morissette and like Jewel and stuff. I'll sing the fuck out of them when I'm in the car.
I don't even know who they are, but I bet I will.
You don't know that song, "Hand in My Pocket"? Blah blah blah.
I don't think so. But dude, I also live under a cultural rock. All right.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Dude, hey, you gotta rock out when a song is good. I don't give a fuck if it's Justin Bieber, right. Dude. You can respect the pops. It doesn't matter how vapid it is.
Goddamn.
Respect the song.
Miley Cyrus party in the USA.
Exactly, dude. I balled out to that shit in high school or college, and I'll ball out now. But we were listening to that song, and I've heard the song. I mean, I remember building Legos in middle school and hearing it on the radio. But it just dawned on me when I was like stocking shelves. I was like, if anyone else, I was like you should really listen to the lyrics. I was like, if anyone other than like a tall, fit, tattooed, sexy, rich guy with a great voice said these things, you'd get a restraining order. Like, I'm standing outside in the pouring rain. Like I know where you hide alone in your car. Goodbye means nothing at all.
What about the police? Every breath you take.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So like I said
Jesus.
that to Vinny. I was like, if anyone else said that, and he burst out laughing. He was like, "You get a fucking restraining order. The FBI would open a file on you."
Right.
But it's just this fucking. It's just this sexy dude, and it's like, oh, he gets a pass. You know, if I say that, and I'm like, I know where you hide alone in your car.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe I need to get that guy to get Leslie Kane for me.
There you go.
The lead singer of Maroon 5. Maybe I'll use him to get me guests.
Right. She comes up to Zoom and her mouth is duct taped, and so you just see another hand pull up.
Yeah, it's just him. But that's what it is. I'm like, dude, I need you to get me Bob Lazar. And he just goes and seduces Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever think you'll reach out to that dude who's buddies with Bob Lazar again and ask him?
Ken Mason?
To try to...
Yeah. He was on 2 weeks ago, actually.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of maneuvered Bob Lazar into the conversation, and he's pretty firm that no, he's not gonna, because he's been friends with Lazar since before all that happened. He's still friends. Okay. So he knew him before, and he's like, I've seen it like ruin this guy's life, and he's like, you know,
is he still friends with him?
He says like they're like lose contact, like maybe annual like talking, but not a lot. But I mean, you gotta think this is like when a celebrity is friends with someone, right? If you're like best friends with Johnny Depp or something, the last thing you're gonna do is be like, yo, John, like one of my friends really wants to meet you. Like you're gonna know how much this guy fucking hates all of it. So when you show up, you're one of the few people in the world that can give him like a normal chill sesh.
No, I was just wondering if they were still friends. Like I don't know.
Oh no, I've trust me, I've sent a lot of emails. I've tried to peck away at Ken, and he's pretty firm on it. And so now I think it's like, all right, now I need to just not be mean. I mean, I say that I'll probably try again in a couple months, but like, I know where he hides, alone in his car. So if I just lose 50 pounds to get some tattoos, I'll sing the song and maybe I'll get him. But
yeah, did you have a bunch of? I thought I saw a thumbnail or something. Did you have a bunch of Delta guys on or something like that?
Yesterday, Dale. Yesterday morning, I did 3 episodes yesterday. I've never done 3 in one day before, and
oh shit,
I wanted to see if I could do it. I've probably done 10 doubles in my podcasting career, but I just wanted to see if I could do it. I didn't plan it to be that way. It just kind of all fell in together, and I decided to not cancel one of them. I was like, let's just see if it happens. Let's see if it works out. And it did. It was exhausting. I kind of gave my whole day to it. I was like eating meals in between. I was like keeping blood sugar high. I was like but it was a bitch just trying to offload the files onto like a hard drive because it was just building up on my computer. I couldn't even, so I was like, but that's not what you asked about, so I'll stop talking about that. Yes, first thing, I had them on yesterday. I had on Dale, Joe Tedeye, and their friend Sam Culper, Culper, who was Army intelligence in Afghanistan and Iraq. I mean, his friends with Dale and Joe, who they can't legally say it, but I can. We're in the CIA Special Activities Division, which is, they recruit from SEAL Team 6 and Delta. So if this guy knows them, you know, I don't know. To me, that's just like, okay, there's like the check of legitimacy. Like, you know, but he owns his own company here in America, Forward Observer. It's like private intel. It's like he reminds me of like Mike Baker from Joe Rogan.
He's a Forward Observer.
That's his company, Forward Observer.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. It's but he reminds me of Mike Baker from Rogan, just like 20 years younger. I think. I have no idea. I think he's my age. But yeah, they came on yesterday, and yeah. They are all convinced that November 4th, Civil War. And,
you think so?
Well, I don't want to think so. And I was, towards the end of it, I was like, we got 5 minutes left. Let's try to be positive. I'm like, what are ways that we can't come at? Dale's like, Civil War is positive. Right. The other guys were like, fucking kill the weak. And I was like, all right.
Rape, pillage, and burn.
Yeah. Well, Dale kept saying this. Like, what do you mean? He's like, this is a chance to take the country and take the country back. I was like, Dale, I said it on the pod. I was like, Dale, you're a different breed, okay? Pussies like me don't want this. But Dale's coming back to the U.S. to vote and to be here in case anything pops off. Because his kids live here. So he's like, I'm not going to let the country fall into disarray. I mean, Dale said as such, if anyone comes for my family or my property, I'm going to mow them down.
Yeah.
Shout out Dale.
Yeah.
That's Delta Force mentality, I guess. Just fuck off.
No,
fuck off.
I feel like that's anybody protecting your shit mentality.
Family or business. Did you
exactly.
Fuck off. I get protesting. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing, a beautiful thing. Property destruction, I don't give a fuck what you say. Property destruction and assaulting others for their political beliefs. Yeah, I get it, right? All Trump supporters are Nazis, right? I get. Oh yeah, no, that's sure. That nothing can be wrong with that. You don't have to like Trump. It's fine. But the second you start saying that they're all Nazi fascists and you can beat the shit out of them, that is fascism.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because now you're just looking for compliance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Beat those who don't fall in line. That is fascism.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's going to happen though, because I think most people are like you and I, right? Like
they don't want this,
right? Like you and I might not see eye to eye and everything, but we can still have a fucking conversation. We're gonna agree on some stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we can move past the shit that we don't disagree on. Or we can talk about it, or we can just not fucking talk about it and
agree
still
to disagree.
Be friends.
Vote in the booths. Whoever wins. Nod your head. 4 years more, we'll go to the next one. Like adults.
Yeah.
Right? That's what happens when you can't agree. We put it to a fucking vote, and then that's it.
Right. The sun will rise again.
Yes.
And everybody,
and then you go
chill
again.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I was saying, I think most people are pretty fucking reasonable.
Yeah.
But right now, you have the two loudest assholes in the room, right?
And the cameras are on them.
And you have the media.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Who's getting the best fucking ratings they've had in fucking years.
Fanning the flames.
Yeah, man. They need, tragedy. They need destruction and chaos.
Yeah.
They need, they need it. So I don't think it's going to happen. Do I think that there's a possibility that, the election results could go to the courts like they did back in 2000?
Yeah.
I think that's a most likely scenario.
Non-zero chance. It's a non-zero chance.
Yeah. Now, how long will that go? Who knows? I don't know what happens after that. Like, I don't know if there's some sort of thing where the current president will stay in power until it's resolved.
If it goes past a certain number of days, Speaker of the House becomes president.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So great. So fucking Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. So it's, and then what? And then what is Trump gonna say? No, I'm still the president because it's during So part of me is like, I don't. It does seem to be an awful lot of just right conditions for not good. But I remember Rogan said it. Of all the things Rogan said, this isn't necessarily a spectacular thing, but it's the one thing I remember out of all the episodes I used to listen to. Rest in peace, Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah.
I don't listen.
No,
really.
I stopped listening in 2016.
Unless somebody super cool who I know comes on.
Lazar. I listen to Lazar.
Yeah, I'll do something like that. But
rest in peace, Jerry. Hey, get that big dick money, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was a good ride.
Yeah, love the ride for what it is. Hey, in 10 years, I hope people are saying rest in peace, TPC.
Right.
Because that will mean that I just fucking cashed out with $100 million. So I get it. But I remember one thing he said, it was a couple years ago. I remember listening to I don't even remember when the episode was. Point being is he said, man, if there's one thing that the president should say, or that a campaign should be, it would just be reasonable. Just for everything, just be reasonable. Are you passionate? Do you disagree with what they're saying? Yes. Be reasonable. I don't like what they say. Is the country gonna end? No, probably not. Did my guy lose? Might have. Okay. All right. What's gonna happen? So I gotta go to work tomorrow. In 48 months, hey, you get a chance to vote him out. Okay. Be reasonable. You dislike that? Be reasonable. Someone got shot by the cops? Let's just fucking wait and be reasonable. And if it was truly bad, let's wait for the court system. Let's wait for the body cams. Is it going to be perfect? No. Just be reasonable. That's how I keep looking at it. I'm like, if Biden wins, is that the end of... No. Just be reasonable. Just be reasonable. That's all it is. Just be reasonable.
Right. Yeah. Hope that he succeeds.
Exactly. He's the pilot of the plane that you're on.
Right. I want Trump to succeed. I want Biden to succeed.
I just
want him to do best for us, they're not going to really.
Yeah.
Except for, 2 for us, 8 for them, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I want them to lead the country in a good direction.
But I want whoever's in charge to do the best goddamn job they can.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I don't know, man. I don't even like my oldest. She's 14 now, and every once in a while she'll talk to me about like, I don't know, shit that she's learning at school, and about politics and stuff like that. And her teachers are pretty good for the most part. They tell them, hey, listen, we all have bias. And so actually, she's learning about bias right now, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I talk to her, I always tell her, listen, even though I try to be objective, I'm a human being. Like, there's my opinion's still going to be intertwined somewhere in there, even though I'm struggling not to. It's like, always go just do your own research, man. And I feel like people don't do that. Everything's just a headline or clickbait or sound bites. You know what I mean? Or, you see a headline and then you don't even read the fucking article. Mm-hmm. You just see a headline.
Fact. That's objective reality now. This happened.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I don't know. Do you think a vaccine's going to come out this year? I can hear you when you answer. I just got to run over to my smoker for a minute.
Gotta go smoke those meats. Smoke the meats. He's smoking the meats. Vaccine in 2020.
Oh, that looks good.
Anyway, smoke the meats. It's September 24th, 2020, 4:02 p.m. Eastern Time. Vaccine. I don't know. Because if a vaccine comes out before the election, that helps Trump, right? Just all things considered.
In theory, yeah.
Probably helps Trump. I do not put it past Trump to hold on to a vaccine until just before the election. I've said before, I like Trump. I also don't put it past him to hold on to that disclosure. I think that's something that motherfucker would do to win. I do. And I don't think that's good, but I think it's reality. But it's this year. I don't know. And I don't think anyone would be able to successfully hold on to it or keep it suppressed. I think I talked to this with Aaron Shepard, the guy who went to med school, and we talked about like COVID vaccine. This is the fucking Olympics for like PhD students. Who's going to be the person that fucking cures COVID? Right? This is Nobel Prize. You're on the board of Harvard Med School forever.
I thought the flu or HIV would have been like the Olympics.
But I don't think they
I guess until COVID. So never mind.
But even then, they never truly knocked it out, right?
Yeah.
If you got a vaccine, right? Have you seen the movie Contagion?
No, but that's what I meant though. Like coming up with like a universal flu vaccine.
That's what I mean. Well, the girl in it that does it, it's like her dad's also an old doctor, and he's like, you're getting a Nobel Prize, and she starts like crying. She's like, I know, but that's what I mean. Is like it's. So I think there's too many people that want it, not even for the best reasons. If I want to cure everyone, I mean, it's just, once in a century, here's the pandemic. Who's putting their name on it? You're going to be a billionaire. Yeah. You're going to go down in the history books. It's all human ego, but that's what drives the world.
I don't think it'll be available to the masses until probably later next year. I think. Yeah.
I think we'll have a full
military will get it. Yeah. Essential workers will get it. Healthcare workers, stuff like that.
Yeah, billionaires.
Right.
Politicians. It will.
Celebrities. Shit like that. So.
It will. I have a feeling that I think we're doing the full cycle with COVID. I think it's going to be a full year. We're going to have all the holidays. For the history books, we're going to have Christmas with masks. We're going to have... to me, that just feels like what it is. And this is based on no empirical data. I just feel like we're getting a full year of it, right? I feel like we're going to ride into 2021 and be like, we're still going? And I think it's going to...
I'm with you on this, yeah.
And then I think spring 2021, like, whoever wins the election, I think it's going to be settled without a civil war. I think the vaccine's going to come out there's going to be March Madness. And I think we're like, without even realizing it, one day we're going to realize that it's all back to normal.
Yeah. Are you going to get the vaccine right away?
Well, no, because it's from Bill Gates and it has a microchip in it, and that's the sign of the beast. But, you know, fuck yeah, I am, dude. I live with my parents. They're in their 60s. I don't want to kill them.
Yes, I understand that. And I'm not an anti-vaccine guy.
You're just a stupid, silly bitch, is what you are.
Right. But I wonder. I don't know. I hesitate on taking something that's been expedited.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I kind of want to wait, a year or two and see how everybody's doing.
You want to be on like Apollo 12, not Apollo 1.
Maybe even like Apollo 5.
Does the rocket work? Does the rocket work? You went around the moon? You came back? It's happened a couple times? All right.
Okay, yeah.
But there's going to be an Apollo 13 part, right? Some people...
Yeah.
Now, does it keep getting worse? Or does 2020 does it start to fade into the past as a fever dream year? Or does the universe just say, fuck it, turn that dial up, boys, 2021, and get ready for the aliens and Bigfoot?
Right. Well, I want aliens and Bigfoot in 2021.
That goes without saying.
No, man, I think this year has just been such a mind fuck that I think people are going to want to have different attitudes going into 2021 and just say, you know what, let's make this fucking year better.
Or is it just a total fuck it?
And
just in general, like,
I'm trying to be optimistic here,
But I mean that
I'm trying to hope for some mass consciousness, like
some transcendent moment. We go into the next evolution.
Yeah. Or everybody's like, fuck this destruction. So and yeah, man, I do worry about that. I don't know. I feel like it's being dramatic, right? But. And do I think it'll happen? No. But if it did happen, man, I got to protect my kids and, it's.
And I think it's important to remember that the loudest, craziest people are getting the cameras on them. It's like if it bleeds, it leads, right? We see the car crashes and the murders. There's no news stories of the overwhelming number of puppies that were rescued today, of babies that were born into families, of people that got back and the tumor was removed and they're in remission. Like, how many people fell in love today? Like, none of that follows, but I think it's an overwhelming majority of it. So that being said, I think the overwhelming majority of people are probably like, I dislike Trump or I dislike Biden, but more than anything, I want to go back to work because I've got these kids. Or whatever. I'm taking care of my parents, or blah blah blah. I think
or just me. I need to survive.
Yeah, just in general, I think the vast majority of people are like, I have my opinions, and but I would rather sacrifice my political guy just to have things go back to normal. I think a very small fraction of people are like, burn it down.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think those are people that are not. I think those are people that are probably less happy with their lives. Not to say that there isn't a need for civil change. There'll always be a need, because if we stop, then evolution stops. But I think people going out and burning shit down, I don't think everything's going well in their life.
Yeah, they're rioting in my city now, in Rochester.
That's what I mean.
I'm not in Rochester, but no, man, it's for. Well, listen, I don't advocate rioting, but I understand being pissed off. So this guy, his name was Daniel Prude. I don't know the whole story, and I don't want to butcher it, but essentially, he was on PCP or whatever, but he was in police custody, and he ended up dying. Coroner ruled it a homicide, right? And the mayor withheld the information. She never said anything until it came out in September or whatever. Mm-hmm. She blamed the police department. So the whole county the whole city leadership, as far as law enforcement, just up and resigned. she's pointing the finger at everybody else. Basically, she's very dishonest and she needs to fucking go. So I understand why people are fucking pissed, man. I really do.
Yeah.
But damn, man, I can't get behind destroying people's businesses and homes and, you know, frightening. Walking by, you know, somebody and making them like kneel to you or say certain words or something, or else like you beat the shit out of them. I'm not saying that's happening here. I don't know that, but you know,
it's not good. Nothing good comes from that.
Yeah, dude, nothing good can come of that.
Nothing.
So,
I mean, and that's the thing is, you can be the most protest, you know, bring civil change to these unarmed black people being killed.
Yeah, dude, because I'm fucking with you, man.
Exactly.
You know, I agree. Like, but you get to this craziness level, it's where you start to lose me. I'm like, all right, hey, I'm backing out.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, I mean, there was a video going around of a guy like 2 weeks ago who was like part of the protest, and then like for whatever reason, like one night wasn't protesting. I think he had like a bike shop, like a bicycle shop in some city or whatever, right? And but the video is just him standing there, and all the windows are broken in his shop. There's like, you know, there's like a burning car nearby, and he's just like picking up glass and like broken things, and the protesters are walking by, and this guy who like had a BLM shirt, he's looking at everyone going, are you trying to get Trump reelected? Are you trying to? He goes, because this is my fucking business, and he goes, I use this to feed my fucking kids. And like, this is a guy that was on your side. And one of the girl recording goes, they don't speak for all of us. And he goes, that doesn't matter, because guys like him, oh, you didn't speak for all of us, so okay, never mind, my shop isn't broken anymore.
Well, you know, dude, it's not only that, but you know what? Fine, if you don't want the fucking police to, you know, overstep their fucking boundaries and stuff, then police your own.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, all cops are bastards, but they don't represent us.
Right. Get them the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying to the cops, you're telling the cops to police your own, right? If you see something wrong, fucking, you know, send it up the chain and get it dealt with. Yeah. You're not doing that either.
No.
You're letting these assholes destroy shit.
It's not all rioters.
Now, I'm not saying you should risk, you know, your life
and limb, but
you know, you could do something. You know, you can get the attention of police, be like, hey, look at these fuckers over here. Just, like, we're trying to, I don't know.
Yeah, at the base of it, just what is going to come out of you burning down a city or destroying a small business? Like, what is truly coming out of that? Like tell me, you know, I'm not you, Josh. I mean, like, you, Ryder, what is the justification? I get you're trying to do this, you're trying to make noise. What are you getting out of this? Because all you're doing now is getting people who might have been on your side, or at the very least might have just been in the middle. And now you're getting these people who were hands off and didn't want any part of it. Now you're getting them to actively be against you, because now their shop just got destroyed.
Yeah.
And if you speak up, you're a racist. So now you're not doing anything. You're making it much worse. Nothing good comes from this.
It's almost like, you know, sending a drone over to, you know, Qatar or something,
blowing up some
taking
kids.
out, you know,
bad guy,
leader of some terrorist organization, but you also kill a bunch of fucking civilians.
You create a bunch
now
of
you
martyrs.
Just turned a whole shit ton of people against you.
Yeah.
So
blowback. That is perhaps you're playing whack-a-mole. Kill one guy, but now you got 40 kids that don't have parents or brothers, and they're going, fuck it. I have nothing else left in life. If there's one thing I do, it's going to be, I'm going to take a swing back at America.
Right.
So. Yeah, you can never beat that. Do you think, have I sent it to you? Are you good to go for like another 15 minutes? Big dick. All right. There's a book called Eye in the Sky, Rise of the Gorgon Stare, Gorgon, Gorgon Stare. It's named after some like Greek monster or something. It's like a never-ending stare. It's just one eye always looking at you. But they started doing it in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then they used it over Baltimore in 2015. But it's basically like a predator with a completely just jacked up surveillance system. And it can record like numbers of like square miles and like high resolution camera or video. But the thing is it has like this weird, it have multiple kind of going over the same area. You can have like 3 or 4, it can cover a whole city. And because of that, instead of, the way I describe it is instead of like that police chopper view, think of like, you know, when cops are chasing the suspect, and you know, you can kind of see the house moving, whatever, it's an infrared, but it's rotating and everything. The way these go is is if you just look at it from like really zoomed out, it looks like Google Maps. Like it's a perfect head down view, but you can see people and cars moving. So it's less. It's not the whole thing is moving. It's just like it's like a live Google Earth.
I wonder if they can tap into like street cams too.
Probably, but the thing is, what they have is they have the big camera, like the gigapixel camera, and then there's Soda Straw, where you can zoom in on one person. And the problem with Soda Straw is when you're like Baghdad, you'd be looking at one guy.
Oh yeah, you lose your peripheral. Yeah,
but they've managed to master it to where now you don't lose your peripheral. It also records everything else, and you can do up to 40 Soda Straws per. This was in 2015, so now you can follow 40 individuals while still recording everything. So you can rewind and then zoom in on that guy. But they can do this for like 24, 36 hours at a time. Super high res. You can track something like 100,000 moving targets for hours on end. And the way you can like track crimes is, you know, if someone breaks into a store, like they got the getaway plan. They're gonna ditch the car. They're gonna get lost in an underground area so you can't see them. What no one ever thinks about is the pre-crime. A lot of these guys leave their house that morning, you know, say bye to their roommates or their kids, and then they go commit the crime. But what these cameras do is you just rewind it and you follow them right back to their home. Bang, you go get them. Little dystopian, a lot of dystopian. That being said, they use it in Baltimore and they ended up like chopping like crime or homicide in half. I bet that shit's being used right now. I was talking to that intelligence guy yesterday on this podcast. I was like, there's no way that's not being used right now. So everyone thinking that they're getting away with Molotov and cop cars. You're all being pinned and followed. I mean, the feds just busted a girl, I think 2 days ago, for burning cars back in like May, and they tracked her down because of the tattoos on her knuckles. They found her across the country in a different town in like an Antifa safe house, but they tracked it down from like zoomed in images of the tattoos on her knuckles, and they found her and arrested her.
Is there really Antifa safe house though? Because aren't they pretty decentralized? Like they don't have leadership.
That's what they said it was. I have no idea.
Huh?
I have no idea.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
What do you think about, you know, DHS and stuff like that? You know, and special operations infiltrating
it's hairy
and scooping people up.
It's hairy.
So,
yeah. It's hairy because on one hand,
God, I saw this one video, right? The guys were in their camis or whatever. It came up, scooped this dude up, and this chick's like, "What's your name, friend? We'll save you. Like, just tell us her name. We've got you, friend." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch. You don't know where he's going. He don't know where he's going."
No. Yeah. Well, no one likes to really bring this up, that this is all made possible with the 2012 NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, where they suspended the writ of habeas corpus, and you can now take American citizens without trial and without notifying their family. But it's all about Orange Man bad, so that doesn't fit the narrative. That being said, it's not good.
No.
The protests aren't good. The riots
he's
aren't good.
He's a prick so he may have the power to do that. It doesn't mean he has to use it.
No,
so
it's,
you know, fuck him for that.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
No, yeah, but I don't like it. I don't like it because that's very. Yeah. If you're okay with it happening now, you only need to fast forward a year or a decade before. Well, Tommy, your podcast is a little incendiary, so one day I'm missing. That's
RoboCop.
Yep, that is a very quick step. You're right there. That's right around the corner. So no, I don't like it. I'd much rather have. Got to choose the lesser of the evils. I'd much rather a mass of like riot cops shooting tear gas, but they're all there and they're all out in the open. I don't like this unmarked van with some ex-Delta hopping out and grabbing you, because just like that, that's how you have the Gestapo. That's how you have the Stasi. Right. That's how you have the East German police.
RoboCop comes busting through your wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, dude, that's the ultimate turnkey tyranny, man. If you can get robots, just like you have these drone craft, you don't have to worry about guys, you know, questioning orders. Like Jocko says, you know, Jocko's always like, you always question. You can never just follow orders. Always, you know, even if it's not vocally, even if it's just in your head, question what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, you're duty bound to.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, you are, you know, I forgot what article it is or whatever, but yeah, your unlawful orders, like you're not supposed to follow unlawful.
Foreign and
domestic. Now that's open to interpretation. And does that really happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think
because
so.
look what happens.
I haven't seen it.
Because look what happens when people do stand up and defend the Constitution. Bradley, Chelsea Manning, Edward Snowden. What happens then?
Yeah.
We don't exactly have a good precedent.
You think Trump's going to pardon him?
If he did, it would be after the election. Or, I don't know, because why would you do that after the election?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the left thought that he was...
Do you think what do you think it would do more? Would it bring more centrists or leftists over to Trump, or would it lose him more right-wingers? I don't see it losing him anyone.
No, I think if anything, he'd gain some... I would like it if he did that.
So would I.
Personally.
Have you read his book, Permanent Record?
No.
Up until before I read that a couple months ago, Audible. I can read now. I'm playing fucking video games and I'm on on Just Cause with a wingsuit blowing up trains, listening to the audiobook. But before that, I always liked what he did because he thought he was doing it in his best interest. But part of me I think probably drank a little too much of the red, white, and blue Kool-Aid. I was like, you're fucking, you're putting us at harm's risk. But after listening to that book, and he explains truly what his motives were. And it's a long book. It's like a 10-hour book, so he gets his point across, and he doesn't have to condense it. I'm with him 1,000% on what he did. You listen to it, and he explains it. He's explaining very non-biased and not Republican or Democrat a very real effect of this was turning into turnkey tyranny. It was the Gorgon stare for everyone.
I always took him as doesn't matter what race, religion, creed, color, whatever the fuck you are getting screwed right now.
Yeah.
And he was trying to let us know. And I don't think, I guess you never fully know, but I don't think anybody was really harmed in that.
No. I think if people were, they would have made a huge public display of it to say, look how bad Snowden is.
Yeah,
we didn't really.
But even then, I'd still be questioning. Are people really?
Yeah, but they didn't even do that. They didn't even do that, which is, I think, just
right.
Yeah, but he kind of explains it like the Gorgon stare. So it's like the Gorgon stare, right? Well, they didn't break in. Well, now you just rewind them, and you see them going back to their house, backwards in time. Well, they didn't break any rules at that point. They were just leaving their house, and they did commit a crime. Yes, they did, and now you have to balance which one's more important. So surveilling these people before they did anything, and what he brings up is it's not just the Gorgon stare. It's that, but it's all information, everything collected, and now you're doing something in 2024, and you want a reason to pin them. He's turned the clocks back to 2009. Ooh, you were flirting with another girl while you were engaged on Facebook. I know that was 15 years ago. It'd be a shame if that showed up. Right? And now that is okay. Well, now you don't know who's going to be at the helm. Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Bob Smith? You don't know who the fuck's going to be up there. So, even though Obama passed the 2012 NDAA, I like Obama. I voted for him. The fear is, well, who's going to be at the reins and use that? And now you have Donald Trump, of all people that you want to have behind the NDAA, and now you do. Now you have DHS guys and camis snatching up protesters. So, I am behind Snowden on that. Who comes into play and who does the turnkey tyranny? And just, I'm going to wind the clocks back 7 years, and there we go. Caught Josh doing something. Bam, you're done.
Right.
So, I don't know. But it's certainly a fucking brave new world we're barreling into.
So, yeah. But I'm had enough doom and gloom. I've been pretty down the last few months about this shit, but I'm trying to be optimistic about it now.
Let's be fucking optimistic for the last 5 minutes. I tried to be optimistic yesterday, and I got shot down.
Did you?
Yeah, so let's be fucking optimistic.
Yeah. So
there's gonna be a vaccine. We're humans. We'll figure it out. We went to the moon. We'll figure out a vaccine.
We're gonna lose more people.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. We're gonna get a vaccine. The economy's gonna open back up.
Yeah. I wonder how the economy is going to rebound. You know what I think? I haven't heard it talked about a whole lot yet, but I think that we've now realized that we have to have some manufacturing here. We have to be able to take care of our shit.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully, you know, that's brought up more once we kind of get past this, and we can start taking steps to, you know, bring some shit back. I'm not saying, listen, I don't think. I think a global economy is all right to a certain extent, right? But
it's inevitable.
You know, where, you know, if one falls, we all, you know, I don't know. I mean, we have to have trading partners. We have to interconnect with the world. Like we have.
It's a global society. You don't have to like it.
There's no turning back now. No. But you know, we also have to be able to take care of our own. And I think, you know, once the fog of war is over and the dust settles, that conversation will happen, and you know, maybe we can. It's not just some, you know, bullshit like, oh, you know, buy American or made in the USA. Like, it's like, no, it's for real, man. We need to.
We can't have we can't have that happen again.
Yeah, because look, man, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of college is, you know, pretty expensive and stuff like that, and you know, you need people who can
go to trade school. Yeah,
trade school and stuff like that, and manufacture stuff, and
bring it back.
You know, and now I don't think it's going to be such a, you know, well, you know, okay, I'm going to put this cup, you know, in the box and okay, package them up, and you know, I think it's going to be more data driven and computer science. So you know, it's going to be intelligent people in manufacturing, I think. And, yeah, I don't know. So I think that's something positive that'll come out of this. You know,
I think we'll see a lot more working from home. If we can do it now, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, why the fuck do I need to go to the office? I just did 9 months of this. Fine. Yeah. That could be a plus.
Yep. I think, you know how, because I'm like this to a certain extent, not as much anymore, but, you know, if I'm sick, like, fuck, I'm going to work anyway. I don't want anybody to think like I'm a slacker or something, you know. I think, you know, no, if you're sick, fucking stay home. If you can work from home, you know, if you're sick, go ahead and do that. I think that's good.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, little things. I've probably washed my hands more in the last year than I have in the last 2 decades. Just like, it's no longer just like whatever. I didn't get messy. Now I'm like, I don't know what I've been touching. I'm like, just quick hand sanitizer. I mean, little things like that. Who knows? It's maybe an argument for some form of UBI. It's I don't know. I mean, it's you know, keep everyone from just falling face first, flat on their face first. It's honestly, what I think it's going to be is there's also just going to be little shit, right? I mean, I've lived at home for 4 years. I'm 30 years old. I don't remember what it's like to go out and hang out with friends. I can't wait to make money just to go move out and get a normal life back. Little shit that everyone else probably takes for advantage. But I feel like we're all getting a dose of that now. Think about just like...
Yeah, I don't think anybody really takes... I mean, yes, there's people, but most people don't take that for granted now. I think most people are like...
That's what I mean.
Oh, fuck.
Think about next year. Imagine going to the bars. Imagine fucking doing whatever. I think just little shit like that's going to be like, oh, we're back. You know? It's shit that you just took for granted, right? NFL or sports games or whatever. Air travel, right? It's...
Yep.
I think we're going to see that. What are some other things? I mean, the inevitable march of technology is always fun. You know, aside from the whole China thing, 5G, faster connectivity. I mean, who the fuck doesn't want it? 8K is becoming a little more affordable, bringing it down to us peons.
Just bought a 4K like 2 years ago. I don't want to buy another.
No, you don't have to. But the point is it's coming down.
I know, but I'll want to.
Yeah, exactly. New Teslas. Maybe we're getting closer to self-driving cars. Who knows? That could be a cool thing where all of a sudden, like, car deaths drop by like 90% in 1 year. It'll be like a historical thing. We'll be like, remember when the, you know, whatever. It'll be like as big as like a vaccine or, you know, I don't know.
Maybe an unveiling of the next generation air dominance fighter.
Exactly. B-21 Raider. You know we're gonna get pics soon. It's gonna be on an unexpected day. We're gonna get pics of the B-21, of the SR-72. And it's probably all going to be choreographed from the Pentagon to look like an accident, but who cares? I don't give a shit. Just give it to me. I'll eat it up. It's... Right?
Yeah.
Space Force, dude. Space Force is coming. Space Force is coming.
Yeah. So...
Friggin' lasers in space. Yeah. So
if that's not optimism, I don't know what is.
Yeah, if the fact that we don't have a Space Force... Hey, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take
Right.
2020 as if that was the price we paid to set off the Space Force. Hey, it
Yeah.
took World War II for us to finally create the Air Force and the CIA. I don't know. Maybe 2020 was the price we paid, but now we have the Space Force.
Fucking A.
You gotta fucking find something, man. You gotta find a diamond in the rough. Because there's no
That's
point
right.
in being pessimistic and being like, ha, I told you that life sucked. Oh, cool.
Yep.
Put a smile on, Josh. Big smile.
We're gonna make it, buddy.
We are gonna make it. We are gonna make it. I mean, I'll probably make it in a straitjacket, but you know what? I'll still make it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, we have this podcast. Josh, I didn't know you 2 months ago. Now we're buddies and we're fucking doing podcasts. Lane, Big Dick,
Right?
Big Dick Patrick. I mean, Paul Wickham's coming on later. We tried to get this going. You started a podcast, dude. I mean, little baby shit. Come on.
Fuck yeah, man.
You need to upload more
Just,
episodes or I'm
I
going
just
to
got
hurt you. But
just got a fucking puppy yesterday.
you did?
Yep. So yeah, a little
You got a
German
fucking
Shepherd
puppy.
puppy.
You got a
I named him. Did you ever watch Star Trek: The Next Generation?
No.
Okay. Well, so Captain Picard, his XO, his name is Commander Riker.
Okay.
So that's his name.
Riker.
We call him Commander Riker. Well,
like
Riker we call him, but his full name's Commander Riker.
I like it.
So
You got a fucking puppy, dude. I mean, come
yeah.
on.
So yeah, man.
We're
good
above
shit.
the ground. We're breathing. There's no thermonuclear war. I mean, all things considered, life's pretty awesome. I've got running.
Hell yeah, man.
I've got electricity, a fan running, air conditioner, my phone's charging, I got ice water next to me. I mean, dude, we're at the best single moment in human history. Like, this is the
Fuck yeah.
future. This is the future people were beaten off to in the 30s. One day you'll be able to talk on a screen to a friend across
Right.
the country.
Yep.
And now we're doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Back in my day, it took 3 weeks to,
Yeah.
get a hemp letter to.
Not even that. It was back then. They were like,
Jebediah.
yeah. Not even then. And back then, it was like, maybe in my lifetime, I'll see it when blacks can vote. Like, I mean, come on. Like,
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of problems, but god damn it if we're not living in the best time in human history. In the best country, in the best time.
Fuck yeah.
Stay positive.
Oh, yeah, man.
Don't let anyone bring you down. Fuck those people. They're cancer. Your brain is a garden.
Right.
You gotta weed it.
I like it.
Josh
Right.
Newman, Reality Playground Podcast. Thank you, sir. And
Thanks, buddy.
I'm backlogged on like 3 episodes uploading, so this I don't know when this will get up. This might get up like
Sometime.
Saturday or I'm not kidding, dude. My internet's so bad and these files are getting so ridiculous that this might not go up till like Saturday or Sunday.
Get it, buddy.
All right, my man.
All right, man. We'll talk
Thanks, buddy.
soon.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. Peace.
See ya.
Stay safe. God bless. Stay sexy.